trust everybody is doing great because I am, and thank God for that. Yeah, I just decided to make an early video and go live. I'm barely waking up, but I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's high time we begin to understand that no one is coming to save you. That sounds so harsh. That sounds so, oh, what's that? I know. Permits me, but I have to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. You can either whine, you can either cry, you can either complain, you can either wonder why everything is not working the way you want it to be. It's even so easy. Like I keep saying, it's very easy to blame people through the pity party, blame game. It kind of like gives you some respite and like, okay, totally, it wasn't really my fault. Most times we all want to be absolved. But then again, you can continue with that, or you could take the bulls by the horns and then work out your salvation and healing with fear and trembling, or you keep complaining, you keep, if they'd done that for me, if they would have done this for me, and you see things not changing, and you are going around in circles, becoming a rolling stone that gathers no moss and all whatnot. Or you could like, you know what? Enough is enough. I really need to grow past the hurt, the pain, the bitterness, animosity, resentment. I think I need to, fly higher. There was this video I watched one time. Excuse me. The very famous video though about the eagle and how when it was flying a little bit above the water surface, birds were trying to perch on it and all whatnot and latch on so they could fly high, but the eagle didn't complain. At some point, it looked as if the eagle was okay with that parasitic, relationship with the other bird latching on to his back, and just to get up there. What happened? Over time, the eagle kept flying. The eagle kept, regardless of the noise, regardless of the hurt, regardless of the pain, it kept soaring high. And guess what? Over time, when that eagle got to a very high altitude, the other bird that was latching on could not maintain that momentum. And guess what? They flew down, like they fell down. So what am I trying to say? Is it that you take charge? Is it that you work out your healing, or you remain there? And guess what? I keep saying it. Bitterness, hate, it's not going to get you anywhere. Unforgiveness is not going to get you anywhere. Holding on to the past, over time, it becomes boring. You know what I mean? Why you blame people today, you blame another person tomorrow for the situations you were in, you notice you're not getting anywhere. You're not going to make a headway. But the earlier you understand that you need to get up, what are you looking to achieve? Hello, hi, Allah, thank you for stopping by. Whatever you need to work on, the earlier you understand that you have to be the one to encourage yourself and heal and continue, things are going to happen. I keep saying it. Life itself is a struggle. It's not a bed of roses. Like, I can't even overemphasize on this right now. While I totally understand that you were hurt, you've gone through things, oh no, nobody understands you. But Are we going to live like that forever now? Is that what we're going to be doing? Or are you going to be thinking of other potential ways of you, aiming higher, working hard? Nothing is as sweet as a rebound story. You know what I mean? Like, I passed through this, I went through this, and hey, I finally made it. It's so convincing that people can pay you just to hear you say that. Because a lot of people, if you notice, nobody wants naysayers, complainers, nobody wants those kind of people in their circle because they are pessimists. They never see a way out. They never see a way forward. They never believe anything can be done. It's just like, it is what it is. It's happened and they're there. If you notice, such people don't have much productive and successful people around them. So while it's okay, I'm not trying to say live in denial or rush whatever, grief states or painful states or hurtful states you were in. By all means, I am a fan of processing it, taking time to process it, cry if you can, weep, and all whatnot. Do all those, but you are not permitted to keep staying down. You're not permitted to keep letting whatever it is to keep you down. I don't know why you can see a lot of potentials and possibilities and capabilities that you have within. When are you going to launch into the deep though? Is it going to be like when you use your active energy to whine, complain, murmur, dilly-dally, and then when you begin to get old and the brain gets so, redundant, because you keep repeating a cycle that is not even helping the brain to develop? Is that when you're gonna now get up? And then, because obviously a lot is happening, or maybe you have given into addiction, or you kept using that hurt as a respite to stay spiteful. Oh, I'm sounding poetic right now. You now decide to use that hurt as a respite to stay spiteful, to stay hurt. While I totally understand that all those hate and pain and hurt, it has its own energy. But hey, you can redirect it. If you don't redirect that energy, over time it begins to consume you. And when it begins to consume you, you can't even do much anymore. That's why you notice some people are so bitter. Some people don't believe in anything good. Some people don't believe there is still positive things out there because they allowed whatever pain, hurt, whatever trauma they went through to do what? To consume them. They never bothered about healing because at some point, we all want someone else to take the blame. Even if the blame is justifiable, for me, I don't like crying over spilled milk so much. Like, I so conditioned and rewired my brain because yes, you can do that. That's what a lot of people don't know. You can condition and rewire your brain to what you want it to do. That is called training. You can. Just like you potty train a child, you can actually decide to dwell on gratitude. Yes, what has happened has happened. Okay, we're here now. Let's look at the good side. It would have been worse. I'm just giving you instances of how I try to recondition and reprogram my brain to focus on the positive things. I do that by being grateful. I'm like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, it would have been worse. What if it turned out, worse than this? So for the fact that there is still something to be, to fall back on, to be grateful for, at least for life. And as long as you're still alive, obviously, you can still work hard and, work out your healing. Because if there's anything this channel stands for, is you maximizing and living out your full potentials. And you ain't gonna do that harboring a lot of hate, resentment. Those, they make you slack. You're gonna be so bitter that no one even wants to be around you. And you know the worst part? Because we're social beings, that bitterness, if you're not careful, it flows like a vicious cycle. It could spiral negatively to even your loved ones, to even people you met. And those negative energies you exude, it keeps on attracting the wrong kind of people. I keep telling you, nobody wants to be around the bitter person. Hello, have you met bitter people? The naysayers, the pessimists, they're always talking down on, lamenting, murmuring on how things didn't go right. Hardly are those people successful. Okay? Because if you're not careful, the energy you exude, that's why you have to be very careful with the company you keep. They say, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. That is not just a term. It has some psychological backing. Because obviously we start to reason alike. Obviously, I start to pick up some, expressions of attitude by virtue of what? Socialization, or by virtue of, being close to you. And that's why you have to be so careful with the people. If anybody is not bringing value to your life, I am so sorry, regardless of their position in your life. If in some cases you cannot leave the situation, obviously try to condition your heart and your mind to live past above that. It's possible. A lot of things we claim we can do, but we are actually alchemists. Please make well to listen to most of my videos. Please. I know we're in a world where, knowledge is, what I mean? If it's not flashy, if it's not, I don't know how to say it. If it's not funny, but every time it's not going to be like that. Take some time to listen to some of my videos and you're going to find most of these things I see. Like I was saying, we're alchemists. We have the ability to heal and renew. We have that to some reasonable extent, though. And where does it start from? It starts from the mind. It starts from the heart. You have to renew your heart with what you're consuming, what you're thinking, your eye, what you're seeing, your mind, what you're conceiving. It all starts from here, because once inside, upstairs is messed up, it affects the perspective and life's trajectory. But you are able to change that. We claim a lot of time we don't have, I can't do anything about this. No way, that's not true. You can reprogram and recondition your mind, on what they can take and what they cannot take. That is where healthy boundaries comes in. Okay? You have to learn to walk out your healing. Yes, by all means hurt, by all means get angry, cry, hate the role you played in the situation, but you are not supposed to remain that way. There is always a way forward. In every problem, look around you. There is always a solution. The only thing is, it's often easy for our brain and our mind to focus on the negatives. That way, it gives us some sort of absolution, like it absolves of maybe blames, like the role you play, because most times nobody wants to, admit the role they played in whatever situation they are in right now. My people would always say, the stream does not drown who it doesn't see its leg. What does that mean? Whether by hook or by crook or one way or another, you might have contributed. I totally understand. Say maybe childhood traumas, you didn't know better, there's nothing you could do about it, and all whatnot, because obviously you can choose the family you're born in, you can choose your parents, you can choose, it's just God's or nature's gift to you. You cannot choose. But then again, if there's another prerogative you have, is to write the story, write the history. Have you ever encountered someone who is always replaying the things that were done to them, which has made them become what they've become, this person they never like, and all whatnot, while they're saying the truth, but it gets boring. If you're looking for who to get productive or think of successful business ventures or ideas, the last person you want to call is that person, because they're like dead weight. They're like that. Even if you help them now, for example, they will still come up with something. It's never enough. And it's always something. Have you met those people? Oh, yeah, I have in my line of work. They don't want to commit to healing. They just want to keep coming. You kind of like bother them up. You kind of like encourage them. And then they go back again. They continue in that cycle. And if care is not taken, they keep dragging you into that unproductive pessimist cycle, which it's not okay. But it's so easy to work with someone who you're seeing they are willing, very, very willing to work out their healing. You could see they are making conscious efforts toward healing, toward letting it go and focusing on the potentials, what they have hidden in them, the opportunities. It's so sweet. It's such a success story when you work with such people. But then again, you don't want to work with someone who every time they're coming back, you sit them down, draft goals and all whatnot. They don't follow it, they don't care, and then they still go out and do the same thing and come. I keep calling that the entitlement mentality, because they feel you will always butter them up. They feel you will always, try to encourage them. They feel, and they go back, they fall into that trap again, and then they get back, So, but it gets so tiring and exhausting, might I add. So what's the essence of today's video? I don't know whose video is meant for. I don't know who needs to see this. I don't know who needs to hear this. Maybe it won't even get much visibility. But remember, this channel had always stood for transforming one mind at a time. Even though it's one person that gets to see it and it makes an impact in their life, I'm okay with. But if for some reason it gets pushed out so that more people will see it by maybe and engage and all whatnot, praise God. But I don't know who needs to hear this, that I have to be playing with you. No one is coming to save you. Everyone is busy with their life. I'm not saying it from a, harsh point of view. But at some point, we need that tough truth. We need that bitter truth. Some people say tough love and all whatnot. When you're trying to encourage or push your kids to step out of their comfort zone and all whatnot. And sometimes, even if they are it's quite uncomfortable for them, you just keep at it and maintain a stern look. It's not as if you're not feeling their pain or their discomfort and all whatnot, or they're not wanting to step out of their comfort zone, or maybe you tell them it's time to switch off the screens, that look and all whatnot. But you just have to be stern. You just have to put your foot down, and that's how you teach them. Okay? Someone was also saying something funny. You cannot be your parent and your child's friend at the same time. While that took me time to understand, I'm like, oh no, the only thing I want to be is their friend. I want to, be that one they can always, come to, even for the silliest thoughts and decisions or what they want to do. But then again, the more they grow, the more I understand that, you have to do the work now. Now they are still in their formative stage. You still have some certain level of, they hold you, and not that they will not forever respect you, but you have that, charge and commission to bring them and nurture them up. If you don't do it now, if you decide to befriend them in this formative stage, obviously most times it doesn't turn out well. Befriend them. I'm not saying be stern and harsh toward your children, but I know you get the point. What am I trying to say? Actually, you need to get out there. Come off it. You can't continue to wallow in that self-pity and all whatnot. You can do this. If for one thing I'm rooting for you, rechannel, reprogram your mindset, change and use that power behind the hurt to develop yourself, to work on yourself. First of all, admit the role you played, admit that for one reason or another, whether it's life or whatever, it's happened. But you're not gonna continue like this. Work towards being your best version. Take your healing so seriously. Set healthy boundaries. Don't just leave things to chance. Don't just be a dumping ground. Because if you harbor or hold on so much to that pain, that hurt, that resentment, that bitterness, you begin to exude that same energy and you begin to function in that frequency, and thereby you keep attracting people of like minds. And that's not you. So it's high time you brush it off. It's high time you do what? Brush it off and get up there and understand that unless I put in the work, that's why most people say therapists will never run out of business. One of the seminars I was attending, they're like, why the business of therapist or psychologist can never be challenged, no matter the AI surge and all whatnot, is because people are not willing to do the work. And that really struck me. I'm like, what? That's true. People just want you to continually emotionally spoon feed them. They just want you to continue to nurse their hurts and their resentment and butter them up. And when they come to you, you just need to listen. Of course, we've been trained to listen and not judge, even though in your mind and in your heart, everything in you wants to judge, but you just keep your cool and all whatnot. You know what I mean? Because everybody wants, someone to butter up their ego, exonerate them. Nobody loves it when you look them in the eye and like, hey, you gotta do better. Nobody wants that. Recently, I read something in the Bible and that struck me. Honestly, most of the things or everything you're looking for, you see manual and life's guiding principle, you find it in the Bible. Hence, the Bible is known as basic instructions before leaving the earth. I still believe that's the meaning. I don't know. Now it says that we as humans crave so much for light, understanding, and all whatnot. But finally, when the light came, which is Jesus Christ, we now decided to do what? We now preferred that darkness instead. You know why? So that our impunities, our imperfections, our shortcomings, our darkness will not be dimmed by the light. How ironic can that be? Almost the same thing I'm talking about. People just want you to butter up their ego, go to a therapist, they tell them do that. But let me tell you something. If you don't decide and like, I'm going to be a better version of myself, I'm going to be the bigger and better person, I'm going to rise above whatever situation that has even kept me here in the first place, I'm going to get up there and get clean. I'm going to get up there and know that I can be more, I can do more, I deserve more, and all these people achieving all this, I can do it too. Unless we get up there and know that, hey, your therapist can do everything possible, your parents, your spouses, your kids. But if you don't decide to make that change, then it's all for nothing. Someone would say, oh no, you don't understand how this thing works. When they consume you, yes, hatred can consume you. It so cancerous. Unforgiveness, resentment, bitterness, animosity, it can so consume you that you barely even have the time to think. Your brain is so clogged with it that it might even have some health implications. But then again, most people will tell you, you don't understand, don't judge, because you've not been there, because I know whatnot. Yes, while I totally understand, but I also understand one thing, that because we are alchemists, we have that prerogative, God helping us to heal. You can rechannel it. How do I know that? No matter how cold you are feeling during the winter, you don't burn your hands, do you? I'm not talking about people with extreme mental health issues that need help, that are sick. That's totally understandable. But there are so many other people who just want to take on this this label. They just want to label themselves with a situation. They just want to get defined by an unfavorable event or traumas or hurts they've been through. Even when they have the ability, they are mentally capable and sane to do what? To rise above it. Yet they decide to stay in. Maybe because of the pity they are getting from people. Maybe because they feel it helps them, it buys them some time and all whatnot. So no sane person, no matter how cold they are feeling in winter, will go and burn their skin or will go and put their hands in the stove and let it burn, apart from those who need help, you know what I mean? So if your brain is able to tell you and let you know that, hey, this is not acceptable, now the question is, why do you think that same brain, you can reprogram it to think on positive thoughts, to think on developing yourself, to think on rising above the situation, to think of healing, to think of setting healthy boundaries, to think of being mindful of triggers, to think of being mindful of toxicity, to think of being mindful of the circle you keep. I can go on and on and on. Who told you it's not possible? It's possible. And hey, newsflash, no one is going to do all that for you if you don't. I'm so passionate about this right now because that's why we keep finding ourselves in this circle. Okay? But you can rise above it. I'm not saying when you rise above it, you should ditch the maybe psychologist or therapist. You still need someone to keep on your progress reports and all whatnot. But nothing suits and very pleasing to a therapist or psychologist when they try to help and they're seeing the impact. Imagine how you feel when someone who has come to counseling or therapy, be it a youth or an adult, and you're trying to hold their hand along this path, but for one reason or the other, they keep coming back. They keep coming back. Why we excuse it and like, oh, they don't have the will, the strength, and the mind yet. You know what? Let's keep mentoring. Let's keep counseling. Let's keep coaching. Let's keep talking. See, it will continue. See that cycle? It will continue till you decide to say, enough is enough. Okay? And you can do that, which is the essence of this 30-minute video today with the harsh caption, no one is coming to save you, take charge. Okay? I'm sorry, it might be coming up a bit harsh, but sometimes tough love, it helps. Okay? You got that power. I believe in you. You got this. I'm rooting for you. But work out your healing. Be serious with it. God helping and enabling you. Thank you for stopping by. Ciao. don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to watch. Don't forget to share this video. That's how it gets more visibility, and this lovely videos, I know people get to, learn from it and, get that motivation. Most people need this push. Most people need this motivation. Most people need this kind of tough love, harsh love, but be the truth that is going to transform them. And hey, if you're not part of the quintessential community, please go ahead for one-on-one sessions like this. Go ahead and be part of our community so you can unlock perks. Okay, there are different levels, up to 3 levels. If you really want a one-on-one session like this, you can always be part of the community and you can subscribe to that. And obviously, we're going to work together as long as you're willing to come alongside. Else, it might become a dead weight. Okay? I want us to commit to healing and meaning it this time. Okay? Ciao. Thank you. I know most people are not used to this kind of tough love I brought to you this morning, but hey, it's for good. I guess someone needs to hear this. Okay? Love you all. Bye.